Hello everyone and welcome back to your piano lesson. If you are here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda, your virtual piano teacher. If you want to discover interesting facts about me, you can watch the introduction video of this channel. I'm leaving the link in the description of this video, where you will find also the link for my artistic channel, Gianluca Fronda, pianist and composer, if you're interested in original music and covers. Talking about this channel, don't forget to subscribe and let me know about yourself by commenting. Tell me when you have started, if you're finding my channel interesting and you're improving your skills also thanks to my videos. And don't forget also to share with your friends if there is anybody interested in piano music, anybody that you know. So now time to go to our lesson. Welcome back to the music theory lessons. Today I'm publishing the music theory lesson number 9, and I will have to talk about syncopation again, but this time syncopation using one quaver, one crotchet, one quaver. So finally using the quavers, and this is one of the most complicated examples for now of syncopation, and I can do because the last week I have explained the half count notes, the eighth notes, the quavers, whichever is the name, whichever is the country from which you're studying. And I want to also reply to a question in a comment by one of the new subscribers, and I want to read the comment replying in tone with the question. The question was, skipping some element obviously, so anyways, thank you very much Leila for commenting. She's saying that she's finding hard understanding the bottom number and the key signature. She's asking if one can have 2 6, and she doesn't really get the reason of the number 4 underneath. Let's indeed start clarifying the real meaning of the bottom number. In the bottom number we are simply and only writing the identity of the count. When I write 4/4, each count is 1/4. Indeed, the quarter is an identity in music, is the crotchet, or called quarter in American. So, if I have 3, 4, and let me now use this page again. So if I have 3, 4, I am saying that in each bar I need 3 quarters. Potentially they can be either 3 crotchets, or I can have one minim, and a crotchet. I can have one dotted minim. It's important that I have values that complete the amount and that each count is 1/4. Here there are 2 quarters hidden, here 1. I can have 2 4, and so on. I'm not writing the 4/4 because it's the most obvious one, the most basic one. But you are asking if you can have the 6. Okay, now let's try to understand here. The bottom number has to always identify the unit, the count, the beat. We have potentially notes that are to be considered half. And indeed this one can be, there are time signatures where you use as a bottom number the number 2. Indeed, we can have, for example, 2 over 2. And how is it possible? In a bar you can have a semi-breve that is made anyways of 2 half notes. In the past, you know how they were writing. Let me do also something else. Let me go back 1 second to 3 4 and 2 4. You could write even, and in the past they were doing, you could write the time signature in this way. 3 4, because this is a fourth. 3, and underneath this is 1/4. You can have 2 over a crotchet. Indeed, is exactly like writing 2 4. 2 counts, each of them 1/4. When you write in this way, you are simply saying that you can have 2 counts and each of them worth a minim or an half note. You can also have now time signatures written in this way. You can have, for example, 3/8. And why is possible 3/8? Because we know that the eighth The eighth is exactly this one. It all comes from the understanding of the subdivision of the mothers or the father of the time values, of the semi-breve, that today is, let's say, the biggest one, even though there is even the breve, but we will be talking about it. So this is for you the biggest value, okay, that we consider like the big pizza, the whole cake, the whole apple. Once you discover the subdivisions, and you finally identify the subdivisions, they finally become real identities. And this identity can be used for the count. These values, they become the identity of the counts. In general, indeed, in the most basic time signatures, you have the 4 underneath, and the 4/4, 3/4, and 2/4 are the most common, the most basic time signatures, where we mean that I can have 4 counts and each of them has to be 1/4, or 3 counts, each of them 1/4, or 2 counts, each of them 1/4. Or, as I mentioned, you can have also time signatures, not that much used today, but in the past used and overused. You can have 2/2, and you mean that you have 2 counts in that piece, so the bars are made considering 2 counts, and each count is worth 1/2 note, 1 minim. Or, as I mentioned at the end here, you can have also pieces and bars, obviously, in 3/8, where you have 3 counts, each count is 1/8. Each count is worth 1/8, an eighth note, a quaver. So not only they have to be, can be considered like part, subdivisions of the huge semi-breve, but then at some point they can become simple identity, and you build up time signatures using them. Indeed, in a 3/8, you're forgetting completely about the concept of the pizza. You don't have to collect always the whole pizza. You will have simply, if we want to write in that funny way, you will consider simply that the bar, and now this is the image of the bar, is made of this. That's all. 1, 2, and maximum this. So this one, and this one. Your goal is the one of collecting simply and only 3 slices, and you pack, you close. You're selling this box with 3/8 of pizza every single time. This is the meaning of a time signature that is 3/8. Now, going straight to your question, you can't have 2/6 because we don't have any value in music that is identified like 1/6. We have the eighth. You will discover 1/16. So as soon as you start dividing, then you get the 8th note, then the 16th you will discover. You will get one note that is 1/32, that another one that is 1/64, that they are called. So after the 8th note, the quaver, you will have the semiquaver, the 16th, or the demi-semiquaver, the one written 1/32, or the hemi-demi-semiquaver, 1/64, is the 64th of semi-breve, but we don't have any value that is the 6th. That's why that time signature that you were mentioning, 2/6, doesn't exist. So 2/6, no, it will never exist unless we don't discover any music value, any value that is considered the 6th of the 6th. That's all. Doesn't exist at all. And I hope that I have clarified now the real meaning of the bottom number. The bottom number is identifying, and I do it again, is identifying the unit, the count, is the identity, shows the identity of the count. 3/8, 3 counts, 1/8 each. This is the 8th note, the quaver. Here we are simply talking about this one. 2/2 means 2 counts, each of them 1 minim, 1/2 note. When we write 3/4, we are talking about 3 counts, each of them 1/4. I think, and I really hope that now it's clear to you. Obviously, in case not even this explanation is enough, feel free anyways to comment. I will try to do my best, as I am trying now, yeah? Now let's dive into the main topic of the lesson, that is the syncopation using 1 quaver, 1 crotchet, and 1 quaver again. syncopation using quaver or eighth note, crotchet and quaver again. Why this is a syncopation? Because obviously now let's write down a simple bar of 4/4, yeah? That you know that you could even write using the crotchet underneath or the quarter note. This is a syncopation because we are starting the second count where there is the weak half beat or the second half beat of the first count. Let me clarify by writing down the notes. Okay, I'm saying that this note is starting on the on the weak half beat or on the second half beat of the first count, because if we place this note at the beginning of the bar, this is the start, is the first count, the downbeat where you say 1. Here, when you start this note, you say and you're starting this sound on the end of 1. Obviously it's extended now because half will fall on the end of 1. The second half falls where you should say 2, where you say 2, but on 2 you are not playing, you are simply holding the sound down, and then you play again on the end of 2. And then you can write something else straight after, for example a minim. And the sound it will be exactly this one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is definitely a syncopation. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and anyways, with or without the accent that could be written above or below, is anyways a syncopation. Is anyways, this one is anyways a note that will need a little bit of extra emphasis, a little bit of stress, because automatically on the weak second half beat of the first count, the sound is automatically weak. You should remember what we discovered in one of the previous lessons when I have explained the reason why we call the odd numbers stronger and the even ones weak. It's a psychological reason that takes us to consider the even ones weaker than the odd ones. You can have obviously billions of cases. This is a simple example, one of the, but we could use all the notes that you want. And anyways, whenever you have one quaver, one crotchet, and then one quaver, obviously placed in this order, beginning of the count, then the crotchet, the count note starting on the half beat, on the second half beat, on the weak half beat, extended obviously up to the beginning of the following count, and then completed by one more half count note, it's definitely a syncopation. Just to show you that it can start also on the second count. For example, let's place a crotchet, quarter note on the first count, then we can have the start of the syncopation here, then one crotchet for quarter note, then one quaver again, followed by a crotchet. So the syncopation is occurring in between the second and the third count, and it would sound 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is a syncopation, and can be also converting, for example, this case can be, for example, having minim at the beginning, 2 counts note, and then we have quaver, crotchet, quaver, and is also syncopation, starting this time on the end of 3. On 4 you hold the note down and you complete the package of the syncopation, adding one quaver at the end, 1/8 note. It would sound 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and here we are. This is a very simple, these are 3 very simple examples of syncopation using quaver, crotchet, quaver, or 8th note, quarter note, 8th note, or half count note, full count note, and half count note. I hope that it's clear to you. I really hope that I've clarified everything today, the reason, the meaning of the bottom number of the time signatures, and how to consider a syncopation in this specific case. If you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me by commenting. If it's the first time you're landing on my channel thanks to this video, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye!